So I've been very protective of my Instagram account. I've looked into YouTube. I've attempted TikTok and found that my phone storage capacity wasn't good enough, which is too bad because I had real things to say about conflict resolution. Um, and I'm still looking to to work in that field, and I'm doing everything in my power, which unfortunately, with my enormous mind, um, is on a list of projects that I'm doing everything in my power about. And so, this grant opportunity, it will help me finally work for a nonprofit that um, can focus on cleaning up the oceans. I've had people discourage me from going to the universities, um, and taking my engineering designs to them for the past decade. And I, I recently, it's been the court that has actively impeded my life from being able to reach out to university and government grants to um, get some of these beautiful ideas to the people, to the market, and to our planet. Um, my son, which some of you may know, is currently habeas corpus. That's been proved in court, and the court has ignored it because the agencies involved in taking my child away from me um, admitted to not working together, which is something that they are liable to do under the law. And they have a lot of protections and a lot of safeguards. But that's one that they're not only expected to do, but liable to do. And, you know, and what? I'm supposed to sue them? I'm nobody. I have very little to provide for myself and my child to begin with. And stealing my son and stealing my sanity and telling me that doing minimal defensive maneuvers after years and years of martial arts studies, because I'm afraid for my son's life, because if the punch to my face had landed, there's a good chance I might have flown backwards into him, and he was standing at the top of stairs, and he could have been seriously hurt or killed. So I'm facing off against that too. Um, and I don't know how that's going to reflect, and if that's going to disqualify me during the background check for receiving these monies for this grant. But I do know that if I get this grant, I'll be able to give an example of the smog reducing infrastructure. Not a great one. I need to do models to actually give examples of city infrastructure changes, because I don't live in a city, and 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 I don't own skyscrapers. So, that's not something that I can just do in my backyard. What I can do in my backyard is give the simplest example of how to increase agricultural uh, output for root plants the production of root plants and easy access harvest for root plants, and how to increase that, and also how to have some control over invasive tubers that is a little bit easier, but that's that's a very small point on an idea that is geared towards uh, making international food security, aka ending world hunger. And it's a multi-part idea because every different terrain and every different environment has different needs for growing food. And I've done research for 20 years in medicine, but in the last 10 years, 10, 15 years, I've been I've been branching outside of my, personal passion within health and well-being in the healthcare industry to look at other things like food. That's maybe 17 years ago is when it first occurred to me. Food is medicine, so study food. you know um, 21 years ago is when I first lived on a farm, and it was for food for animals. And I have some really beautiful concepts about animal care. And anyways, this is the long explanation about my worries waking up this morning, and from a YouTube video to going to the actual, I found a YouTube video at about 6 p.m. last night. I wrote out a script, and then I went first thing into the grant rolls this morning. Turns out that the script that I wrote is not in compliance with the grant rules. There's an advertisement for my website, which has zero traffic other than me and the creator that set it up for me. I still haven't gotten the DLNR1 in, just like how many court papers never got turned in. Those of you that are friends on my Facebook page, well, I've made some posts about that. I've tried to keep it away from the public eye because, again, it's just something that isn't, it's not bad for me, but it's an image issue. I threw a protest when I was 15, 16 years old to allow me the opportunity to present a more cost-effective, familiar parking, for-pay parking installment in my community. And the board, which was pushing to put the for-pay parking in, spent the money before the city council meeting that I got to discuss this issue. So I was hopeless going in, and then I heard the committee member lie to the city council, and I didn't feel comfortable calling them out on it. I didn't want to be slanderous. I didn't want to point out that nasty behavior. But the city lost money during a recession because tactics and personal issues and pettiness and willingness to be dishonest and to spend monies that shouldn't have been spent in ways that shouldn't have been spent, instead of just allowing for community input before doing so. And that's what this grant will change for me. It will help me get a voice. It will help me get my voice to those that can help with the mission of having world hunger be a thing of the past, having anyone go hungry be a thing of the past, real sustainable conflict resolutions, aka world peace. I mean, that's a big deal, and it's a hard thing, and it's not a promise, but but I do have a plan, a legitimate plan. And I think that those things need to be heard, right? So, wish me luck. I have just under 12 hours to get the 90-second short. This will be the second grant that I've ever applied for. You know, I mean, I applied for about 14 scholarships. I thought about running for Miss America. Never, yeah, I mean, again, you need funding to do that. And I thought about doing it because I needed funding. So, and I did have pretty dresses, maybe. So, anyway, this from California to Hawaii, Rock and Roll Ray, aloha.